What's up, YouTube? This is me, Mike Riversfried, and I am back for the first time since January of this year, because I haven't been uploading as much because I've just been trying to work on myself and get better, and yeah, and so sorry I haven't been uploading as much this year, and yeah, but we'll have to wait and see for the rest of the year what will hold for me. But yeah, I'm here to talk about how time has moved on. The 2020 effect. This 2020 effect has, you know, sort of like sped up time with the way how it's messed with people's perception with time. How, because of how everything was before 2020. I mean, hell, what was life before 2020? It was nice. It was actually really laid back. It was chill. It was so good. I mean, how it's down to a point where it's nostalgic as anything now, because we're coming up to halfway through this decade as of next month, which is quite absurd to say the least, knowing the fact that COVID was like literally 5 years ago, and it's just all changed how people's perception of time has gone, especially when like we've had to use technology to get into, like, we've all had to use technology to get into, like, because of how we were locked away for so long. We were locked away for so long, down to the point where time just sped through, and nowadays social media and technology has just gone up and up and up nowadays, down to the point where AI is now involved. I mean, how about 60% of the internet is AI now, probably be 90% in the next few years. And the way how people can actually have augments being implanted inside their minds, chips and stuff, with Neuralink, with Elon Musk, what he's done like over the years, and how like Apple Intelligence, how everything's like come into play and all that sort of stuff in its early infant stages. We've had like the and all the headsets and all this other stuff, really. So it just makes you wonder how quick and how fast technology has just moved, and how time has moved on as well. Because think of it this way: 2020 was 5 years ago. What was we all doing? We was all locked away. We was all on our social media. We was all on FaceTime to people. We was all doing YouTube videos, TikTok videos. We were all on Facebook and just all on Twitter or X, and just literally just be mindlessly scrolling because we were just locked away and we wasn't allowed out as much. And to even think that 2015 was 10 years ago, how fast time has gone. 2010 being 15 years ago, 2005 being 20 years ago, especially with the first ever YouTube video that's now reached over 20 years. and it just gets you to wonder how quickly time has moved on. I mean, how we're almost halfway through the year, almost halfway through this decade. In about in the next 6 months, we'll be in 2026, and in 4 years, will be in 2030, which is nothing compared to how we were 5 years ago. And I just think the way how technology has moved on has just sped things up. On our phones, laptops, all that kind of stuff. We're all relying on technology nowadays that time's just completely racing away. So I propose this. I propose this. Like, is the 2020 effect real, or is it just a figment of our imaginations? Because I mean, how time does mess up our perception in our minds, really. So, do you know what I mean? Like, I just think the 2020 effect is real. You know, I think the way how life has begun in 2020, like when we've stepped inside this new decade, has completely changed just like that. And now, I mean, hell, we're almost halfway through this year. So yeah, let me know what you think about that, because it truly staggers me from time to time, and I just get reminiscent, nostalgic. I just repost anything that's just like there's like something to do with music, because that's like pretty much the closest thing to a time machine, if you will. You know, like look at like sitcoms and stuff like that from the past and all that sort of stuff. You know, and yeah, just have like VHS tapes and all that sort of stuff, and like those sorts of things, you know, brings you right to, you know, right to your mind, and think, oh, like we've moved on from this so quickly, you know, and it just gets you wondering, you know, about life in general. You know, you only got one life, you know, you are allowed to make mistakes along the way. Mistakes happen. Literally, yeah, we're all just happy accidents, in the words of Bob Ross. You know, we're all just happy accidents. You know, we don't just make mistakes, we're just happy accidents. No matter which way you look at it. So, like, that's what I think anyway. You know, I mean, because it's got me thinking over the last few months of how time has moved on, really, and how we're getting older, and how Gen Beta is the newest generation. So like Gen Alpha is no longer the new generation, and how like Gen Z, which is the generation I am in, from 97 to 2012, and Gen Alpha from 2012 till 2024, and now Gen Beta from 2025 to about what, 2037, I think. So yeah, it's pretty crazy, really. It's pretty wild, you know. Yeah, time messes up with our perception, and we're only getting older. So I live one life. You gotta live it and be happy that we're here. You know, that's all I have to say. Peace out. Like the video, share or comment or whatever you want to do if you enjoyed this content. So yeah, hopefully more to come this year. So I haven't been posting as much this year. I will get back onto it eventually. You know, I've been uploading crazy as hell on TikTok. I mean, how like I got 100k views on one of the videos, which is outstanding for me. So yeah, hoping that I can get this YouTube account back up and running, and how it's supposed to be, really. So yeah, peace out.